9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi, I'm Tim Robinson, Editor-in-Chief of Aerospace, and with me is Deputy Editor Steve Bridgewater.
Hi guys.
And Features Editor Dominic Ward.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're watching.
Welcome to another packed episode of Aerospace NOTAM, another edition of our podcast looking at global aviation, aerospace and space news, and what we have upcoming in the next issue of Aerospace. May 2026.
It's May already.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, time flies, as the pun goes. In the magazine we have everything from GA to spaceflight, from airliners to airports, from air law to eVTOLs. We've got a lot. First up, where have we been, what have we seen?
Do you want to go first? Editor-in-Chief privilege?
Editor-in-Chief's privilege. So I was at ITEC the week over in Excel, in the Excel Centre in London, and that was looking all about simulation and training. So what's going on in the military simulation and training world. Very, very interesting stuff to see. Big themes there, counter drone training.
Right.
Okay.
Which was, I had a go at and was particularly terrifying, trying to shoot down a first person view drone. In VR. There's also low-cost training devices there, so people there with very, very high-end mixed reality goggles. Combine those with a kind of a cockpit, and you've got a low-cost kind of procedures trainer, things like that. And also battle space. So we hear a lot about multi-domain warfare, space warfare, cyber. So everyone's building these into their kind of battle space simulations and trying to kind of sort of merge them. So, you know, when you run a simulation or an exercise or something there, you're not just doing the air bit, you're not just doing the sea bit, but now you're looking at kind of cyber, space. In some cases, social media. What's happening on social information warfare?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So really fascinating show to go and have a look at. What about you guys?
I was recently at the RAF Museum Midlands, as it's called now, RAF Cosford as well.
Not Cosford.
Not Cosford. For a lecture organised by Runway 25, our friends at Runway 25, Tom and the gang, with Z-Man. So Rob Zettel, who was an ex-American Air Force pilot, flew F4 Phantoms, then became an aggressor flying the F5, and then was one of the lucky few who was selected to join the 4477th, the Red Eagles, flying the MiG-21 and the MiG-23. And it was fascinating. But it was just a really well-organised event. It was in the Cold War Museum at Cosford. So there was a MiG-21 actually in the hangar. We were in the lecture hall. But to listen, so Rob did his talk in two halves. He talked about essentially his normal career, so starting with T-37s onto T-38s, flying Phantoms in South Korea and Japan, then becoming an aggressor on the F5, and then the second half was how he got on to flying the MiGs, and it really was right place, right time. Yeah, he got the nod, and he described it as the best kept secret of the Cold War, because they formed at Tonopah at the same time that the F117 buildings were being put up for the Nighthawk. Nighthawk was declassified a lot earlier than the Red Eagles project.
So I've already debriefed you a little bit about this because I thought that was a fascinating lecture. But did he say anything about having the kind of Soviet air crew room where they had like kind of flags on the wall and posters and patches and they kind of up for culture, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. He said they walked into the hangar on the first day and he was given the tour of the building. And there was this beautiful hangar with a pristine white floor and a MiG-23 and a MiG-21 and a big American flag over the top. And he thought this was just one of those defining moments of his career. It's like, and then I think the boss there said, well, if you like that, come and look in here. And he said there were rows of MiG-21s lined up, sort of like 8 either side of the hangar, pretty much ready to go. But I thought the interesting thing that he said, and I talked to you earlier about this, Tim, the one rule on the Red Eagles is you don't pre-flight your own aeroplane. So they had so much trust in their maintainers that if the maintainers rolled the aeroplane out of the hangar, it was seen as an affront for you to then do a walk around as though you distrusted them. That's the only time I've ever heard a pilot say, I didn't do the walk around on an aeroplane.
Wow.
I thought that was really interesting.
Talk about safety.
So talking about safety. So in the last few hours, such as my commitment to the cause. I've just returned from Finkenwerder out in Hamburg, where I had a nice day with Airbus at their safety days briefing. All off the record stuff, so that's between me and the people that were there, and never between you, dear viewer. But a very, very fascinating day. Really, really great insights into some of the current sort of thinking around safety.
Yeah.
But all off the record, so hush, I'm afraid.
But it's interesting. I mean, we know that Airbus have got the facility in Toulouse as well, haven't they? So I think you went to that one, didn't you, Tim?
Yes,
about 18 months ago?
Yeah.
So Airbus taking safety really, really seriously.
Well, I think it's one of the things we tend to take for granted, and that's why I thought these background briefings are so important.
Yeah.
Is just educating media, because usually what happens is there's a crash, an accident of some kind.
Yeah.
And then there's a rush to sort of speculate. There's all kinds of videos appearing on YouTube. Being more informed of what's actually happening is really, really important.
I think that's right. We're in such a social media world where we've never been more connected, but at the same time never been more misinformed. I think is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Okay, let's have a look. The other thing that happened this week, I was at. Well, we were both at CA annual address.
Yes.
So this is an annual kind of town hall meeting, if you like, a forum for the UK CA to go to. Well, it's customers, it's clients,
stakeholders is the phrase they use.
And just sort of a state of the union kind of thing, what's happening. So
and that was held here at Fort Hamilton Place.
That was held here. Updates there really on airspace, Heathrow, AI, but also a little bit about what's happening with the kind of global crisis there affecting airlines, and particularly a little bit on the kind of compensation a bit about it, because obviously. As we record, we're looking now at a kind of staring down the barrel, possibly, of cancellation of flights,
oil shortages,
and so things like ATOL protection. And people are thinking about their summer holidays. Are your summer holidays safe? Is really sort of like a major priority at the moment. So that's the CA is keeping an eye on.
Absolutely, and it all gets passed on to the customer. So I was looking at somewhere for me and my partner for the back end of the year. The hotels, plenty cheap enough. But it's the flights that are so expensive right now because of the knock-on effects.
And the uncertainty.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's take a look at now what's been happening in the wider news this month. It's been another packed month, hasn't it, for news? Big news, and if you're not really following this, why not? Artemis 2 splashdown. What a successful mission! What a crew! What an uplifting experience to watch them, and just the sheer joy, moon joy. Coming around the far side of the moon, coming back. It had everyone in tears.
I was going to say that there were so many great moments. Later on in the podcast, regular listeners of yours will know we all stood about what have you been watching and reading. We were all watching the Artemis program. We were all watching Splashdown at 11:30 at night, texting each other. But I think my favourite moment of the entire trip was the address from Jim Lovell. So the late Jim Lovell. There were a number of real, got a bit of dust in my eye moments, but
welcome to the neighbourhood.
Absolutely. Welcome to my neighbourhood. Yeah.
I know it's springtime, but boy, that hay fever's rough right now.
It was. So,
but also, I think the important thing from an engineering point of view was this was a flight test, and a flight test of an unflown vehicle, really, because the first one had come back, and it got big concerns about the heat shield. And they were going off, and there was people that there beforehand sort of saying, is this going to be another Columbia? Challenger. Challenger. Is this another Challenger? We're warning you here.
Yeah, and of course it was the first test of the new re-entry profile. To counter it.
So all in all, and the crew, what a great job they did as ambassadors.
Oh, they were brilliant.
Fabulous.
So can't wait to sort of see what happens next. And they're already gearing up now for Artemis 3.
The core. I think the core stage has been rolled out now, hasn't it? So.
And I think the other star of it for me was Jared Isaacman. As NASA administrator, just so engaging, so proactive, able to put things into speech that anybody can understand, whether you're 5 or whether you're 85. He just engaged with everybody.
He was on the ship and he said something like, was it a childhood or was it 10-year-old Gerard would be able to believe that?
Yeah,
I know. Rocking up on the ship in jeans as well, which is so relatable.
Yes.
And whilst this podcast isn't sponsored by them, obviously Nutella, you can't talk about Artemis without Nutella floating through the capsule. I mean, fabulous. What an out of this world promotion for them.
Quite literally.
Quite literally.
They especially loosened the Velcro in this. All right, what else have we got in terms of news?
I've got a China story. So we take it in turns each day to write news. We look at news we can find from press releases and scouring our sources. And I'm constantly saying, we've got another Chinese drone story. And this month was more so than ever. So we thought we'd have a bit of a deep dive into the large Chinese. So this is not your quadcopter drone. This is fixed wing, uncrewed cargo aircraft. And they're coming thick and fast now and increasing sizes out of China. So AEROSPACE have just flown their HF-200. So there's all of these have got a multitude of uses. And as we keep saying, purely humanitarian. If you read any of the press releases, purely humanitarian utilisation. But you have to look at them and go, this has got a serious military connotation as well.
They're all about like kind of, I don't know, short Sherpa that size.
One of them was a tea delivery, wasn't it?
That was one of the eVTOL deliveries.
Was
it? That was 2 tons of tea. So that again is a great, we talk about in the article, a great use case for an eVTOL that's not the stereotypical flying taxi, if you like.
Yeah.
It's 2-ton capacity, ferrying fresh tea down from the mountains to a train station, and then it could be anywhere in China within the next 24 hours, fresh spring tea. But then you've got, there's one that looks very much like a Cessna Caravan, you've got some twin-engine ones coming through, but an amazing variety, and a lot of this is promoted through China's low-altitude economy. Which has been a big push from the Chinese government. A lot of investment in research, development, legislation to allow this to grow.
And it's not just 1 or 2 doing test flights as well. It's we got here a fleet of 30 moving tons of material up for a power line.
That's right, and that was I think they said it was 3 days, and there were 30 of them, and it moved. I remember it was 5,000 tons of. And if that hadn't happened, it would have taken months of hacking down the rainforest, putting in tracks. Of course, that was an elephant reserve, so protected environment. So. There's some really good use cases.
Absolutely, way ahead of the game there.
Yeah.
What about you, Don?
So news coming out of New Zealand then. So Air New Zealand have announced the Skynest.
The Skynest.
So the Skynest is a series of bunks that they're going to have on flights, I think, from New Zealand to New York, I think they said, where you can book them for a 4-hour slot at something like 490 New Zealand dollars. Really interesting. Obviously, Air New Zealand tend to do a lot of really interesting stuff with their cabins. So we've obviously had the Sky Couch before, which my family have used on a flight when they used to operate from Heathrow to Los Angeles. They used the Sky Couch and said it was fabulous. So this is something a little bit different then. So 4-hour slots and you're stacked one on top of each other. I'm not sure how I would feel about that if I'm on the second or third. If I'm on bottom or top, okay, fair enough. But
what if you're on the second or third shift though? If you've got to go several hours, is it? Because you can only book one session, can't you?
One session, yeah. So if
I'm assuming they're changing the sheets.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Otherwise, you're sort of arriving perhaps with a bit of pink eye. It could be a little bit unpleasant for a 16-hour hop, but I'd be interested to see how this comes into to play for. A lot of people that are obviously flying economy, because this is an economy product.
Yeah, it's economy.
So you're not in the front, the pointy end of the aeroplane, in the lie flats. This is for economy passengers. So I'll be really interested to see the take up on this, because obviously it's a key route for them. It's a big old route for them. So I want to see how that comes together. Would you want to be on the top bunk or the bottom bunk or in between?
Depends where you are.
Yeah. I'll be at the pointy end. You can sit at the back of the bus.
Excellent. Okay, so what else has been going on? We've obviously had a major. As we record this, there is now a ceasefire in the Iran conflict going on there. There's the Strait of Hormuz is still kind of blocked, or Alternatively, open, closed.
What time of the day is it?
Determining what time of day it is.
We're on shifts, we're on shifts for blockages.
We're still monitoring that. But one of the biggest stories there was an absolutely huge combat search and rescue mission that the US conducted. And that was to rescue, 2 crew from an F-15E that went down in central Iran. They used 155 aircraft in total to rescue the pilot. The pilot was rescued, I think, fairly swiftly by Black Hawk, and then the Wizz Air went on the run with Iranian forces in pursuit, climbed up a ridge while there was a running battle going on with the US sending absolutely everything out to, not only to go and kind of protect this guy, but also to distract,
decoy missions,
diversion, and it ended up with two MC-130Js, Hercs, Commando Hercs, being destroyed on the ground, 4 little birds. An A-10 that was shot up with the pilot ejecting over the sea, being safely rescued, and it's just incredible. I mean, it's got Hollywood written all over it, and it just goes to sort of this is central Iran as well. I mean, one question that you did kind of think of, well, where were the MV-22s in this Ospreys, because they were, one of the things that they were designed for was eagle claw. Long range, but I think what they were, looking at the aircraft that were involved, in fact the little birds, I think there was a big part of it was maybe the search bit, and that's why they'd had to land at some kind of FAR, unload the helicopters, and they were going to go and have to do a search and maybe try and find the Wizz Air, and also defend the FAR. But really just incredible stuff, What else have we got?
I've got an AI story. It's an AI with a German aviation twist, I'm afraid. GA story.
GA and you?
Who would have thought it? So this is the sort of Embry-Riddle University in Florida. So their president, P. Barry Butler, well-known character in the GA world, has announced they're now using AI as part of their post-lesson debriefings for their students.
Interesting.
So effectively the whole session... Anyone who has learnt to fly, had a flying lesson, you spend an hour in the air, then you spend at least half an hour debriefing the mission afterwards with your instructor about what you could have done better, how you could have done it, what was done. AI is now doing this for Embry-Riddle. It's not replacing it, you're still having that debrief with an instructor, but it's looking at all the parameters, and it actually delivers this in a package including animations, including graphs as to whereabouts on the runway are you actually landing? Are you landing short? Are you landing long? And it's got a chat GPT style interface where you can actually quiz it. You can quiz the AI and say, well, okay, I'm landing long. What do I need to do to rectify that problem? And I think this has opened up.
Is it the kind of AI that will say in a kind of slightly sarcastic and constant voice, a little heavy on the round out blocks when you break the undercarriage completely?
That's amazing. So I think that's really a really good development now for the training world.
And it's also repeatable, and it's impartial, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're getting the same. So it's taking the. Did the instructor get out of bed in the wrong side of bed this morning? You get that kind of a level playing field in terms of a debrief.
You do, but if you look at the Scab in Embry-Riddle, it's an enormous flying school in the US. They do 200,000 hours every year of flying instruction. So you've got all that data. So you can actually look at trends and see how you can actually streamline, improve the instruction by getting that data and actually analysing it with AI.
Use of AI.
Yeah, great.
Dom, what about you?
So, Boeing news then.
Okay.
We've got updates on MAX derivatives and certification of engine anti-icing. So this is stuff then, I picked this up early this morning in my usual I can't sleep state. So what's out on the interwebs. Those that are apparently close to Boeing, whilst they're being very coy about what the updates are to the engine anti-ice, looks like we're going to get that up and running again. So looks like going to be testing on the MAX 10 testbed that they've got to then roll out to the long-awaited 7 and 10 variants of the MAX. So seems to be progress.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, speeding up at last.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Watch this space. Okay.
Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, well, I had something written down here. Then I realised actually there's a probably a bigger story. Vertical Aerospace has conducted its full transition flight. So this is what we were waiting for. This was their big milestone. We've been following Vertical Aerospace, obviously the VX4 eVTOL. We've all been watching the flight test. With that, the initial goal was sort of late last year, I think, but it was obviously UK weather, waiting for the UK weather to come back. But we had a full thrust-borne transition from hover to forward flight and back again with Cy Davies at the controls.
Great guy, Cy.
And that's a historic milestone. First AM company outside of the US, so really great to see them get this milestone. And the other thing also, it's interesting, is they've secured $850 million in comprehensive filing package to take the Valanche, the production version, through to certification. Yeah. So. There were some questions, kind of last year as to will they be able to do this, and also what's their financial situation like. But
proving that milestone, the milestone always helps with the funding, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
So hopefully this summer we'll see them at Farnborough.
You would hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It is one of the foremost UK aviation projects at the moment. Surely it's got to be at Farnborough.
Yeah. What else?
Mate, I've got another GA story. Sorry about that. In fact, again, going through the news this month, there have been a number of developments with twin-engined aircraft. There's a company called Viking that have just debuted their V42. Viking are an engine company, so it's been sun and fun the week before we record this. So they had a part-finished prototype of their V42, which uses their Honda-inspired engine. So that's an engine OEM now producing its own airframe. But the one I thought was really interesting was a Polish twin, which flew back in March, and it's the ATP Aviation AT6. Now, if you are around general aviation in the UK, you may be familiar with the AT3, the Aero AT3, two-seater, used for basic training, designed by Thomas Antonuski. So it's the same synergy squad. The AT3, the AT4 is the LSA version for the USA. He's got an AT5, which is a complex single, so retractable gear, things like that, variable pitch prop. This is now the twin-engine version, and what he's trying to do with this is create a family of aircraft. So you might start in the AT3, then you'll go on to the AT5 with your complex, then onto the twin, and you've got a single style cockpit. It's a bit like the Airbus theory, isn't it? Yeah. You can go from an A319 through to an A380 with effectively the same cockpit layout and familiarity. But it's a funky looking thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so with free lifting services.
Yeah, so it's got a canard at the front which operates with the flaps as well. Yeah. So it's a really interesting looking
machine. Very scaled composites Burt Rutan.
It has got a it's got a bit of Rutan look about it, definitely.
Is this the thing that's also got the really funky colours on it?
Orange and blue.
Orange and blue.
Yeah, it's a great looking thing.
What an eye catcher. What an eye catcher.
It's a machine. So looking forward to maybe getting my hands on one of those at one point.
Brilliant. Okay. Dom, you've got another engine story.
I have got another engine story. So, Pratt & Whitney GTF Advantage has been given certification by EASA for the A320 family. Okay. So, we expect to see a new engine across the range soon. We're moving in the right direction. So, I know that PW have before had a few issues, but this is the GTF Advantage. So, it's the next kind of generation, next iteration, but all very promising. All looks very, very encouraging.
Okay, brilliant. Fantastic. Right, well, on that note, let's have a look at what we've got in the
magazine itself.
Yeah, the magazine itself. What we've got in the May issue. So this month we've got a bit of a defence theme. Yep. To tie in with our future Air and Space Aerospace Defence Summit coming up in May. So we've got features on Eurofighter Typhoon, future of the Ukrainian Air Force, missiles, and Icelandic air policing. So that was me. I was Icelandic air policing. That's something that I wrote up. That was the Swedish Air Force up there in Iceland with the Gripens in the cold and the windy conditions, defending NATO's northern flank.
So have you defrosted yet?
Just about. Just about. But lots of. I mean, that was a great trip. Full stop. But really fascinating to see how it was just bread and butter to the Swedes. It's like, we've been doing this 100 years. So coal. Coal is nothing new to us. But also some of the peculiarities of Iceland in the. You think about that, Iceland, well, it's an island surrounded by sea. Actually, the low level, there's not much low level flying. 5,000 feet is the hard deck. Oh. And also the airspace is quite restricted. In Sweden, they can mingle the civil and the military stuff, and they can.
Is that for environmental reasons?
Yeah, so it's tourism and environmental. So there's. But it's a good place, it's a good place to also train with, NATO allies, so they have the Luftwaffe Typhoons up there to play with, and also Danish F-35s.
Okay.
So that was really there was Canadian media on the trip, and they were really interested in how the F-35s talk to the, work with the Gripens, and how Gripens work with the F-35s, because they're now kind of is potentially pondering a spin-by
story.
What else have we got?
Well, sticking with the Gripen, we've got a good article on the future of the Ukraine Air Force.
Yeah.
Which of course, they've pledged for Gripen in the future. Rafale in the future. Yeah. So looking at how they've really changed the face of modern air warfare and what the future might hold for the Ukrainian Air Force. I think really topical article. And you should say, we've got our Future Air and Space Defence Summit coming up on the 20th, 21st of May, so I think there'll be lots of discussion around these sort of topics there. I think there's still tickets available for that.
I think so. It's worth checking out. I mean, the interesting thing from that one as well was also they had their dispersed velocity, is that, that just didn't happen on February 22nd, 2022. 22nd, that sounds right. But the invasion, it was in place before then. They'd done their homework as to, if we do get this to happen, we're going to have to go to ground.
So
what about you?
Yeah. So
with training.
Training. So
maintenance.
Still a bit of defence, but also a bit of a lighter story compared to some of the heavier defence stuff. So Affinity Flying Services at RF Cranwell celebrating 10 years of being in operation, which is a really great thing. I went up there, paid them a visit at the end of February with the feature now in the May edition, where talking to the guys on the ground, the kind of the family feel of the organisation, but above all else thinking about what comes next. So Hawk replacement, GCAP, so that was described as being a hot potato subject right now. So really kind of worthwhile, a bit of a feel-good story.
I thought it was interesting, they were telling you about how they, at RF Valley, how they'd managed to source some of their technicians by going outside of the aerospace. Well, because obviously North Wales, not particularly known for its aerospace industry, apart from Valley itself.
Yeah, so they said that basically all the people that were in aerospace were employed by their neighbours at RAF Valley. So how do you address an employment gap, a skill shortage? There was a chicken processing plant on the island that sadly closed down. I think 50 odd years of operation. But they put in the resource and the time to take these guys from this processing plant. They've obviously got a mechanical and a background to work the machinery there. And put them through the aerospace thing, and kind of really proves that, and STEM is for anyone. It doesn't matter what your background is, you can absolutely do whatever you want in STEM. There are pathways to do so.
And not just when you're 14, 15, 16. These are
career
changes.
Absolute career changes from one extreme to the other. These are people that they said had never been on an airfield, never been up close to an aeroplane. But putting them through those pathways to get their kind of licenses for aircraft engineering, a really uplifting and real feel-good story, and also kind of shows that the solutions come from the strangest of locations.
I thought it was really interesting.
And just on that point about kind of GCAP training, the training requirements, one of the there was some forums and presentations going on ITEC. One of the talks there was on training for GCAP and Tempest, the golden thread, training, education and training, and the key theme or the key takeaway from that is treat it as a critical mission system. You know, GCAP is not just the aircraft itself. It's like saying the downing system is a Spitfire. It's not. It's also everything else that sort of surrounds it as well.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And one of the things was, invest in people, etc., and pay attention to this. And it's going to change so fast. The technology is changing so fast that you have to prepare people and be prepared to adapt. But also, one interesting thing that I kind of pulled out there as well was there was a comment there about your enemies are going to target your training system. Your enemy's going to target your education system. They're going
cutting it off at source.
They're going to work. They're going to try and work to undermine it. So be ready for that. Again, it ties into stuff that we're looking at in the future, Aerospace Defence Summit, what's going on in rearmament and things like that. But don't just think that no one's going to interfere with your training, your training thing. You've got to defend that as well.
Is anyone going to interfere with your air refuelling system?
That's the one. Yes. So another great article in the May issue from Robert Hopkins. He's an KC-135, RC-135 pilot. He's also one of the editor-in-chief of the Journal of Aeronautical History. Brilliant piece on the future of air-to-air refuelling, and he was writing in there that until today. We've not had, an air tanker, air-to-air refueling tanker, lost in enemy action. We've had two. A mid-air collision, sadly, and then there was one lost on the ground,
and several other damaged.
Several others damaged, and that's just a foretaste. If you look at what could happen in the Pacific, you've still got these super bases. You've still got these, and the adversaries have got lots and lots of missiles, drones, you name it. His thing was start treating the tankers as war fighters because they're going to go and they're going to take losses. Very, very sobering article. What about you?
We often talk about the features that we have in the magazine. We also have a variety of regular columnists, and one of which is Rob Coppinger. I think it's worth singling out Rob here. So Rob is very much a space guy. He was out in Kennedy for the launch for Artemis. He was in Houston for the splashdown. But he's written an article in his regular Pushing the Envelope column on how NASA is recycling shuttle engines to get Artemis into space. So it's for the SLS, and it's a great example of how they've taken what was a 70s system really. Brought it up to date, used it for another use, and they're actually managing to push them now to 111%. Not just turning up to 11, they've turned it up to 111% of the initial power, because of course now it's a disposable engine. It's not they're going to reuse it on the shuttle. So it's an interesting angle there as to how we're Artemis is cutting edge, going back to the moon, but there's still a little bit of
3D printing as well in it. And if you've not read Rob's blog from Kennedy Space Centre, it's on the Inside blog. Have a read of that. Amazing. Gets used a lot of that because he was there, and I'm very, very jealous of that he watched the Artemis 2 launch. What else? We got this issue?
Yeah, so
worth picking out?
I'll put my hands up now and say I'm a commercial aviation guy. I love commercial aviation. But that doesn't mean to say that I don't dip into other areas. So on the defence front, there was a really good piece from, is it Giorgio Domizio?
It is, yes.
Because I don't want to mispronounce his name. So a really good piece on the Eurofighter Typhoon. So conference held out in Berlin. Talking about kind of updates to the airframe and to what it's going to be deployed for. Now, as I say, defence not really my bag per se, but I found that a really, really fascinating read, and I think it's something that we should be, aware of. This is this is a fighter that's been in use for about 20 odd years now, isn't it? So how do you adapt it for what comes next?
There's a lot of upgrades that are, you might sort of say because of the kind of defence drawdown or the global war of terror. They've been on terror. They've been put back. Now they're coming forward. They're being accelerated. In fact, we've also seen base systems go and test advanced precision kill weapon systems, the laser guided rocket counter drone. And I talked to them at DSCI last September, and I said, well, this will about take a year to get on there, a year to get integrated. They've just fired one. So that's really moving fast for kind of weapons integration. So they're not kidding them out here. There's other stuff like the aerodynamic modification kit, which allows higher angle of attack, heavier payloads. They've got the wide area display coming along as well. So it's got a great future in front of it. It's going to be flying for many decades.
And I think it proves the point that the Typhoon really still is a very versatile platform. And obviously, it's still attracting new customers. We've got the Republic of Turkey now joining the family of operators. So, really, really fascinating piece from Giorgio there.
Brilliant. Well, we also, obviously, in the magazine every month we have our Afterburners section. So please send your branch news and events to
me.
Ward. Yeah.
So that's Dominic.Ward, dominic.ward at aerosociety.com.
Branch news, events, photos, reports from what's happening around the branches and the divisions. Do get in touch. Just send us your photos that way, and let us know what's happening. We can include them. Right, upcoming events, shout outs. What have we got coming up? We've got the annual banquet coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
Always a highlight of the year.
If you've not got your tickets for that, if you've not booked a table, get in there now, because I assume by now there's
few and far between.
You
might just scrape in.
Gold dust at this point by the time it comes out.
Then we've got the Future Aerospace Defence Summit. We've already talked about that. That's going to be a highlight. I'm moderating a couple of sessions there for my sins, and we're talking about GCAP. So I'm going to have someone there from Edgewing.
Nice.
And Doug Barry there as well.
Doug's always
excellent.
So providing analyse. And I'm also going to talk about, I think I'm down for talking about sort of social media and communications.
Well, that's got your name written on it. You tweet.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. I mean, you're keeping Elon in business.
Communications defence projects there. We've also got in early June, we've got the AAIA and AEROSPACE Aerodynamic Decelerator Systems Conference. Now, if you're wondering there, what the heck is an aerodynamic decelerator? Parachutes.
Drogue shoots.
Parachutes. And if you watch the Artemis thing, you'll know how important parachutes are.
The Tunnock's tea cakes.
Yes.
So we've got that's a whole week of events going on there. There's a visit to the wind tunnels at Farnborough as well.
Excellent. I've been there recently. Very, very worthwhile going down.
And our keynote speaker there is Dr. Megan Christian Fress, who is an ESA reserve astronaut, who one day could be relying on a parachute opening above a space capsule. Guild of Aviation Artists, they're coming up. They've got an annual exhibition at Shuttleworth.
It's something.
I believe you know Shuttleworth.
I might be familiar with the location. Yes, it's as Steve and Tim can attest, it's a very exciting demonstration of some of the brilliant, talented artists, people with far more talent in the fingers than I could ever have. And some of the younger guys that are coming through kind of aviation side, I mean, Oliver Stevenson, for instance. That's 5th to 7th of June in Shuttleworth. Please go and have a look, because honestly, you'll be blown away with the amount of fabulous artwork there is produced.
Most of which is for sale.
Absolutely, yes.
So I'm running out of wall space. I'm not having any more. Don't let me buy any more artwork.
Emma's told me no as well.
And then we've got our Sustainability Summit coming back. So that's 22nd, 23rd of June. That is our sustainability, so green aviation, SAF, hydrogen, what have you. It hasn't gone away. It's still a major theme, major topic. We'll be taking a look at that for a whole week in June. We've got RS People in Aerospace Conference, one-day conference there, 6th of July. That was a big hit last year. With the President, Alistair Wood. So it's coming back, should be a very, very exciting event. RS International Flight Crew Training Conference, 7th to 8th of July. Again, that should be really sort of standout conference. And we've got RS Farnborough Summer Reception, 21st of July. So that's the week of the Farnborough Air Show. Again, another amazing social networking event for
drinks on the terrace here.
I'm very much looking forward to Farnborough this year, because I turned 30 during the show.
Do you really?
So, not to make you both feel old in any way, shape or form,
Yeah, thanks for that.
but I am celebrating my 30th birthday during Farnborough.
Brilliant. Well,
So-
we must get a cake then.
Yeah, so
Cake and party hats.
Get a
Blowers.
he gets a cake, a party hat, and 5 minutes off in the middle of the day.
And talking about landmark birthdays, Chipmunk 80th anniversary in May.
The
So
poor man Spitfire turns 80.
Exactly. So two events to watch out for in May.
No, 3. Top Gun is 40.
Oh,
Another anniversary.
You've beat me to the punch. When we always talk about what we're reading, playing and watching, there's me thinking, yeah, Top Gun's back in the cinemas. They're doing a release of the original.
But you haven't watched it yet. You've got
haven't
to watch
watched
it.
it. Haven't watched it yet. So if you watch this in the future on a rerun, then I might have watched it by then. But jumping the gun slope to come to your point, yes, it's coming back into the cinemas with alongside Maverick and confirmation from Tom Cruise of a third Top Gun film.
Yes. Yeah.
Top Gun 3. Maverick waits for the Defence Investment Plan. You heard it here first.
Can I talk about chipmunks now?
You can talk. Yeah.
I'm trying to brush it away.
2 big chipmunk anniversary events in May.
Yeah.
9th of May, Duxford. So part of their video day show, they've got loads of chipmunks. They've got 40 chipmunks, including 3 coming up from Portugal. They actually still into the service.
Yes, indeed.
And then 22nd of May, which is the Friday, big gathering at Wolverhampton Airport, Hackney Green to those of us of a certain age. Could we get 80 chipmunks for the 80th anniversary?
And the air at once.
Well,
Like a big wing.
It might be pushing it, but
Well, we didn't quite get 100 moths for the celebration last year,
No.
but they did spell out 100 in the sky,
Yeah.
so that was good. So perhaps along those lines then.
anyway, I'll finish talking about chipmunks now.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, we're heading towards the end of the this episode. What have we been watching, reading, playing? I've already jumped the gun with. I've been reading
Have you got a
or
prop?
dipping in. I've got a prop. I've got
Wow.
this. So for those of people on Spotify or listen to this is Space Journal from Dallas Campbell.
As in Gadget Show Dallas Campbell.
Gadget Show Dallas Campbell. It's a fantastic book
Ooh,
of
wow.
how art
That's stunning.
has influenced
Yes.
space flight and vice versa. So you got stuff here like Amazing Stories. You got some of the Werner von Braun kind of renderings.
Jeez.
You've got Trevor Beatty in here, who was obviously
The first Brummy in space.
the first Brummy in space. And he got his homework marked by a certain Buzz Aldrin.
Can you see the canals from up there?
This is just fantastic. It's a coffee table book. Oh, Trevor,
There we go.
Beatty. There we go.
Look at that.
And it's just a fascinating coffee table book of if you're
Yeah.
interested in space, if you've been inspired by Artemis, this is definitely worth a look at.
That's got my dad's name written
Yeah,
on it.
That's
that's
on
good.
it's going on my bookshelves.
Yeah. Brilliant. What else have we got?
Oh, I've got a prop as well.
You've got a prop.
Hey!
I have got a book by Jonathan Falconer.
Okay.
Now, Jonathan, you may not necessarily know by name, but Jonathan worked for Haynes for a long time.
Yes.
And was the commissioning editor. Remember those fantastic Haynes guides to
The
the
manuals,
Spitfire
yeah,
the manuals?
yeah.
So Jonathan was commissioning editor for that. He's now got it alone. And this is one of his first books, which is the Photographic Archive. It's RAF Between the Wars, 1918-1939. So fantastic, high quality, black and white images of that sort of Silver Wings era. So
The Hawk series of
Hawks,
series of Hearts
DH
and Furies and Hinds.
DH9s, Wapaties, Fairy 3.
Yeah.
People doing crazy things at the Hendon Air Show every year.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know, flower bombing a fort or looping the loop,
Proper
chained together,
Absolutely,
kind of roped together.
Look at that, Vickers Victoria there.
Wow.
Brilliant. So a brilliant book. It's on all the usual booksellers, but I think you can still get it on Amazon. So that's RAF Between the Wars and Jonathan Falconer. Really, really highly recommend that. It's good.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Not a lot of reading, lots of pictures to look at, which is great.
Okay. Don, have you got anything else?
I've got my tickets booked for Top Gun in the cinemas.
You should have mentioned that.
I might have mentioned it once, got away with it. Yes, coming out in the cinemas middle of next month, I think, back in the release.
13th, 14th.
Something around that,
yeah.
At all good cinemas, and possibly even some of the NAF ones.
We should probably have a team outing and watch
So
that
it's a
together.
choice between the annual banquet or Top Gun double bill, I think, yeah.
If you haven't got your tickets to the banquet, you know what to do.
Right.
Brilliant. All right. Well, where can people keep up to date with us? We're still here. I'm still on X, RES Timar on LinkedIn.
I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook, Stephen with a PH, Bridgewater.
Yeah, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, whichever one you want to find me on.
Sure, Instagram.
I'm young.
Yeah.
Not until Farnborough anyway.
Yeah. Views, questions, feedback. Do send them our way. A reminder: we're also on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, etc., all good places where you get your podcasts from. Do like, subscribe us.
Yeah. Send Dom a birthday card for Farnborough.
If you see me, I'll be the one with a badge.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
See you guys. Take care.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, bye.